Gets you in the mood, doesn't it?
God, now.
That gets you in the mood watching those highlights. Love it.
All right.
Walk-up music, it means one thing on this show. That's why we asked the question last couple months. But when you hear the boss, it's time to go to the boss because he's got all those gift cards. That's right. He's got all the gift cards.
Hey, wait a second. Now, before we get started with Jeff Hafley of Boston College, we have pictures. I mean, are you, you American salesman here? You're selling gift cards. What are you doing now? I mean, and now I thought it was pizza. And then we're handing out, what'd you say this is, Shake Shack?
Oh, you guys are unbelievable. I can't even start the show without laughing. I was handing out pizza, and then those are Shake Shack gift cards up to $50. So you guys should have been walking around campus and you might have gotten one.
Hey, bud. Hey, come on now. We're your people now, aren't we? You got one. You got one or two left over, don't you?
I might have a couple left. See at the spring game, you might find yourself with one of those. But I wanted to thank the students. If you watched any of our games last year, I thought our student section was as good or better than anywhere we played in the country last year. So I wanted to just go out, get on campus, and thank them, show my appreciation, and tell them to get up early and get to the spring game. Let's make it game-like. Get in the mods early in the morning, head out, and be there for our players. I think it'll be a good Saturday, and I'm looking forward to the spring game.
All right, let's come clean on this before we get to your team. When I hear $50 Shake Shack gift certificates, is that coming out of your budget or is that Pat Kraft's budget?
That's Pat Kraft's wallet, probably. Handed them over, and I was happy to hand them out. So we got to thank Pat Kraft for those.
All right, so Jeff, we're done with you. We'll get Kraft in here in a couple minutes because you can't help us. I mean, we've given you a broken Packer and Durham mug, and finally the shipping department at ESPN came clean and got you a real one. So we're done with you, Hafley. We'll see you next month. We're done. We get Kraft on here. We get some deals done. All right, let's get to your football
the new
team.
cup. I've been using the new cup. The first one in pieces was unbelievable. I thought it was actually funny. The second one came right after. So thank you.
You're welcome on that. All right, let's get to your team, though, right? Enthusiasm, momentum. That's what I think of with your program. I mean, you guys have done a tremendous job. I know you wanted to finish that bad boy off a little stronger, but incentive for 22. What have you seen in the spring so far?
I've seen a lot of competition. We lost a couple guys up front, and I've seen our O-line really come together. We have a bunch of really good, talented O-linemen. Christian Mahogany is really the lone vet coming back, and I see him in very similar to how I saw Zion last year. I think he has a chance to be one of the, if not best, offensive guards in the entire country and put himself in position to be a high draft pick next year. But the youth, the toughness, we've run the ball really well. I'm really proud of the young O-linemen.
All right, we talked to you a little bit about John McNulty before. Now that you've gone through this session, what is his imprint on your offense? What's it look like? What was your expectation, and how's that conversion been?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away. Just like Saturday, we're not going to show too much because sometimes it's fun when you get a new coordinator and a new scheme. You keep your first three opponents, maybe four opponents guessing. But one, we want to be able to run the football. We need to run it better than we did last year, and I think we've done that. And from a defensive guy, there's been some practices where I've left very angry, and then actually when I realize I'm the head coach, I'm pretty happy because we're running the ball. We're running the ball well. And then certainly with Phil coming back and his ability to get the ball down the field and push it down the field, with Zay Flowers and Jalen Gill and Jaden Williams returning, we got some dynamic wide receivers, and I think one of the best quarterbacks coming back in the country. So we established a run. We pushed the ball down the field. I think that, early on in spring, the defense was ahead because it's the third year in the scheme. But the offense has caught up. And in our last scrimmage on Saturday, I thought the offense had one of their best days. So I'm excited about that and excited by the buy-in from the players.
All right, all this offensive talk, you're a defensive guy, so let's talk about the big boys on the other side, Coach, because that's the bread and butter for you. What about expectations defensively for this team in 22?
Well, I think it's going to start the same thing I said. We got to do a better job of stopping the run. I think we were the third-ranked pass defense in the country last year, which was a huge improvement for us. But you have to stop the run. We need to be better on first and second down. We need to create more TFLs. We were really good on third down. We gotta just be better on first and second down. We got a lot of guys up front returning. We'll get Chibuzi back, Ashita back, Marcus Valdez back. Basically, our whole D-line is coming back. Our linebackers, they're all back. We got some really young talent mixed in. So we have experience on the defense, a lot of young, good athletes who can run, and I'm excited to see the next step that we can take. I think Tem has done a really good job of implementing some new schemes this spring, and I'm excited to see where we can take it.
That's the part about that side of the ball for me. As much as the Dracovic and Zay Flowers, and I'm glad you mentioned Jalen Gill because I think he's been a guy that's kind of gotten lost in some of the communication nationally about who you're going to be. Defensively, Tim is so good, Jeff. I mean, you know this. I mean, you brought him with you. He's one of these bright rising stars in this business that, you know, under your tutelage and guidance, I mean, you guys have really kind of grown this thing to a point where it seems like you're ready on that side.
Yeah, you know, I think we should take a step this year, and I agree with Tem. Tem's not only a great coach, but he's an incredible person. He's really good with our players. I consider him one of my best friends. I think he's a rising star who should get a shot to be a head coach soon. I think that whole defensive staff is really, really maybe the best that I've been around as a group. And I'm grateful that for 3 years, nobody's left, and they've all had opportunities. So I'm appreciative. It's allowed me to kind of step away, and I think I've become a better head coach this spring because I've been able to get around the offense more and the team more rather than just being entrenched with the defense. And that all starts with my trust in Tem.
All right, I want to ask you about this schedule here, and I know we're talking about spring, but you said, you know, we may be 22 personnel all afternoon on Saturday, and I understand that because 4 of your first 6 are at home, but your first 2, there's Rutgers to open, and then I see at Virginia Tech, at Florida State, Louisville, Clemson before a bye week. I mean, the first 6 is going to tell the story in some respect, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's really – I haven't seen that schedule in a while. I didn't realize it was at Virginia Tech, at Florida State, so thanks for making my morning feel even better. I just know we start with Rutgers, and watch, they'll put that Virginia Tech game, their home opener, probably at night, right? So we can all hear Enter Sandman as I run out of that tunnel for the first time.
That would be good for you, yeah.
We'll definitely have that. And then possibly on October 8th, I think Dabo's working on getting us to come there again. They actually – he called me yesterday and asked if I would mind, and I told him, hey, it's your world. I'll do everything we can. Maybe we can get you this time there. But they will be telling those first few games. And yeah, I mean, maybe we'll line up in Wildcat, and maybe we'll throw the ball to Phil. Maybe we'll, you know, who knows what we'll do. I think the spring game you might see, maybe we'll see Mahogany in the backfield carrying the ball. We'll have a little fun.
You just mentioned that you became a better head coach with some of the things that are going on. When you look back, I mean, it's been a quick ride here so far at BC, but when you look back, where have you gotten better, Coach, as a head coach?
Yeah, well, I thought about this a bunch the other day. I walked into the pandemic. I literally walked into the transfer portal. I walked into NIL. So I feel like everything just came at me fast. But I think I've done a better job of, like I said, I was able to get around the offensive players. I felt like the offense actually felt like I was rooting for them this spring when I probably wasn't rooting for them the last spring and the spring before that. Because of my trust in Tem and the defense, I've been able to get out of those meetings and spend time with the players and connecting more with all the players, not just the defensive players. And I think that's my job as a head coach, and I've learned that after 2 years. I just can't be a defensive guy.
It's one of those things, though, that, and I've asked kind of Mike Norvell this because you guys kind of showed up about the same time, right? This is the first one that feels normal, like pre-pandemic for you, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's wild. A couple things. This is the first spring ball where we're able to have recruits here. So all of a sudden I turn around and there's 100 people at practice, and then I'm sitting in my office for 4 straight hours talking to families and recruits, and it's awesome. I mean, I was getting their staff ready to get on the road after the spring game. I'm not allowed on the road. I said, what in the world am I going to do in my office without the staff here? I've never been through this before as a head coach. Shoot, so it's going to be, you guys might want to get me on the show more. I'm not going to have anything to do, but I'm sure I'll find plenty, and I'll probably get entrenched in the tape and start texting the staff a million different thoughts. I'll probably drive them crazy, but I've never been through a normal offseason before, so I feel like I just got here.
All right, so how does that change? Because you're right. May becomes their month, not yours, right? That's the way that works. and you've got new territory that you're going to walk Boston College into for the first time as a coach, right? You're going to send your staff collaboratively out on the road to recruit year or two ahead here as much as you can. And you got to plot and plan that. I mean, you just can't go pell-mell across the Northeast and around the country representing Boston College for the first time. You got to have a plan, right?
Yeah, we got to have a great plan, and we have great people working in our recruiting department with our staff that are all mapping that out. I've kind of given them my thoughts on where we should hit hard and focus on. I do think we're a national brand because we're one of the best academic schools in America and have a major city right in our backyard. So they'll do a good job. They'll be organized. It's a great staff. I mean, these guys work hard. They're tight, and they have great relationships with these kids. But this will be the first spring where we actually get on the road since I've been here.
Coach, I have a suggestion for you since you're looking for some free. You got some free time now, not having to go on the road. I got 2 words for you. You ready? Shake Shack.
Hey, why don't you come out to the spring game? If you come to the spring game, I'll just take you to Shake Shack and we can order whatever we want.
Dude, let me tell you something. I would be there if I could be there. Seriously. And I tell you what, next time I see you, when that could be? That could be next month.
At Amelia Island.
You think they got Shake Shacks at Amelia Island, Coach? You think they got one of those down there?
I've never been to Amelia Island. This is my
you're
first
gonna
ACC
like it.
head coaches. This is all my first.
Like it.
I don't even know what to expect, but I'll definitely bring you Shake Shack cards. I'm going to actually just send you. I'm going to get Pat's credit card. I'm going to get some more Shake Shack cards, and I'm going to ship them to you guys. But if they're broken the first time, I'll send you another pair.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that. Let me just give you a little hint about Amelia Island, and I'm not making this up.
No.
All right. Again, what I'm about ready to tell you, you need to take note. I swear to God, the first time we went was a couple years ago, right? Only time we've been. Coach, I walked into the men's room where we're staying, all right? And I go to wash my hands. And they've got a bowl about half the size of this table of pink Himalayan sea salt.
Oh, yeah.
It's what you do to wash your hands. And I swear, I must have walked in there 35 times during the 3 days because it's the greatest stuff I've ever. I just went in there just to wash my hands over and over. Pink. And then you go to the gift shop, and for like a tiny canister about the size of a Packer and Durham mug, you could get one for like $35. And I'm like, forget that nonsense. I'm going to walk to the men's room. There's got to be $10,000 worth of pink Himalayan sea salt in there. I was going to just stick it in my bag and just send, hey, I'm just taking that sucker to American Airlines and I'm flying home.
Here's what we're going to do.
I swear to God, it's the truth.
Here's what we're going to do. When we arrive at the spring meetings, I'll text you so you and Gina can come down and greet us in the lobby. And you can see the guy at the hotel rough Packer up as he comes through the door because Packer, the last time we were there, was taking scoops of the Himalayan sea salt and putting it in a plastic bag to take home with him.
That stuff is magic.
He was stealing pink Himalayan sea salt.
It's magic. I'm telling you.
You guys just made. I can't wait for this trip. I'm going to go home tonight and tell Gina that we got to get some Ziploc bags so we can take some of this home.
You go get some Glad bags from the local pantry or wherever you buy them. You're gonna make about $35,000 on this trip. I'm telling you.
Tell Kraft hello for us. Thanks for the time. You're the best, and good luck on Saturday. We look forward to watching here at 11 o'clock.